We are live. Global Inspiration Nation. How y'all doing? We're going to get juicy tonight. All right, let's dive into it. So, Connect-A-Thon at the Connected Soul Network. We're going to dive into all the juicy details. Very juicy. All right, let's get into it. So, I just got back from the Connected Soul Networks, the year anniversary of the Connect-A-Thon. Oh my God, it was amazing. I don't even know where to begin. It was like I'm like genuinely sad that it's over. So I'd like to first start off by saying that I had no plans on staying the entire event. I was like, oh, I was getting interviewed for it um, at 1:10, and I'm like, yeah, maybe like jump on at the beginning, and I'm kind of tired because I didn't really sleep well last night, and I just like I'll probably jump on right when it starts and say hi and then like go take a nap for a while because I was like really tired this morning like when I was yeah I was just really tired, right? And then like so first I went out on a walk. I came back and like I was just so drained. I got the jelly donut. There was a jelly donut ritual that we were supposed to get, and it was very important to have this jelly donut for some kind of mysterious ritual. And I'm like, wow, okay. So I need a jelly donut. So I'm like, okay. So I went and got a jelly donut, and I came back, and because it's priority, my health and wellness is by hands down number one priority for me. That will always come first. And so, like, when I came back from the jelly donut, I came back, I looked at the time, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's already 9:30. I really wanted to be a part of the very beginning of it. And then so I jumped on. I got my donut, set it down. I'm like, I have no idea what's going to happen with this jelly donut. I don't even really like jelly donuts. Like last I remembered, I just didn't. I remember like going, hey, jelly donuts aren't that good. What are we gonna do with jelly donut? We're gonna stick our finger in it. Like I really thought we're gonna like stick our finger in it or something like that. But stay tuned. I'll get to that in a little bit. Did I stick my finger in the jelly donut? Huh? Find out. All right. So stick around and find out what happened with the jelly donut. What did we stick in the jelly donut? Huh? Cliffhanger. All right. So now, okay. So I jumped on. So this event, um, it was really interesting to watch because I've been watching Jennifer Hart kind of like do her thing for like the last like 3 weeks. I could tell she was really tired. And so here's a little side note. I'm going to give you guys a little side story in case you guys don't know. I'm going to give you some juicy gossip. Right? The word of the day: juicy gossip. Right. So she's been doing this. She's been a little bit public about it, but in case you didn't know, so she's been doing this session. She was gifted a package of mental and emotional release. Right, going through like an NLP process to really like let go of things that no longer serve us, and then I'm not really sure, but it's like 11 weeks long. Okay. And so she was talking about how that's like really draining. Okay. So here's something very interesting. So I was gifted as well with the same thing and the mental and emotional release. And I was like sitting there like kind of in awestruck because what she's going through, I'm going through like as far as like that mental and emotional release. This was recommended to us to be gifted out by uh, Astor Fox. I guess she knew a couple people that were going through a program and they needed to. I'm not really sure. All I know is like I'm truly blessed to have been able to receive this. And I went through the first week of the mental and emotional release, and it was like really like oh, it really took a lot out of me. It was good. It was like really good. It wasn't like it was just like, oh my God, thank you. Because it like freed me so much of these blockages that I was carrying. Like most of my life, I discovered I had blockages like dating back to 3 lifetimes ago. Like that surprised me. Okay. And so like watching Jennifer Hart go through this, I was like watching her going like, wow, like she looks tired. Like I'm tired. And she's like doing like a bazillion things at once. I'm just like, I don't know how she does that. But like she like always kind of keeps her calm about it. I'm like, wow. And then as I was going out for a walk today, I was actually because what happens is one of my values within my core values within my life. I have separate core values as far as like life and then career. So they're a little different. But within my life, family and friends are very important. And within the family, I always go for a walk in the morning. I call up my mom and I go, "Hey, mom, let's get you to live to 120 years old, healthy, and your mind's straight and like thinking clearly. Let's go for a walk." And so me and my mother, we hold each other accountable to go on our morning walks. And I don't know why, but like somehow I started thinking about like human design energy. And I was just kind of like, my mother was like, what is human design energy? And I'm like, oh, mom, you remember we went through this like a little bit ago? She's like, oh, yeah, I do remember that kind of. And then so we're sharing human design energy. And I'm like, well, I myself am a projector. And, and I'm like, there's like, and my mom's like, well, what is that? And I'm like, well, let's see if I remember right. And I was kind of explaining a little bit to her. And I go like, see, like what Jennifer Hart's doing. I think she's like a generator or a manifesting generator. I think she's a generator, but she has completely separate energy. Like she does energy that I couldn't do. It's just not within my energy, because she's like constantly like she loves this stuff. So like all the stuff that she's doing is like go, 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 go. She's like a facilitator. She's a connector. And like watching her, I'm like, I don't think I could do that. My mom's like, yeah, I don't think I could either. I wonder what my human design is. I'm like, well, let's find out. Hey, Cindy, it's good to see you. Cindy Engel, wiggle, jiggle, and giggle, queen. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, dun, 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 dun. Reach for the higher thought. Reach for the higher feeling. Cindy Engel. Hi, Cindy. So, and so like I was like, yeah. So back to the story with Jennifer Hart, and I was like really going like, yeah, I don't know if I could do that. But what is really good, you keep the conversation in like high frequencies. I'm like, but what's really good though is like knowing people. So it's really good to like understand all the different human design energies because like every single one of them is a slightly different and we're all slightly unique. I think it's generator. I think generators make up 70% of the world. Projectors make up, I think, like 20% of the world. So you have generators, you have manifesting generators, you have, let's see if I can remember it, projectors, you have reflectors. Reflectors make up 1% of the world. They're like unicorns. They're like the mystery unicorns. And then there's 5. So we have projector. Oh, I think I have something saved in my phone that tells me this. We have projector. Bum, 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 bum. So we have projectors. I did not save it in my phone. Oh, well. Okay, so we have projectors. We have reflectors. We have... Anyways, there's 5. All right. So there's 5 of them. And I'm like, but so it's like really good to like know because especially when like, building a team or co-collaborating, it's or like just networking and talking, or like just knowing our friends, or like understanding our family members, or there's like so many dynamics to like know like why it's like good to understand human design energy. And so my mom was like, yeah, I guess you're right about that. I never really thought about that. I'm like, yeah, it's so interesting. Okay, so then that's what I love about Jennifer Hart is she has that good energy, the connected soul network. So, anyways, I came back home from my walk. I got my jelly donut for the ritual, setting up for the ritual, and let's see here. So I wonder if I can share this, and cannot share this, and I was gonna share Cindy's like, "Rah," but I guess you can't share like little pictures. Anyways, so I got back. So I was actually about like 30 minutes late because health and wellness for me is like hands down going to be always number one for me, no matter what I do in life. And so when I came back, I started watching it, and I saw Amanda Schumann. Who is Amanda Schumann? Amanda Schumann is amazing. She's the one that does like the dream circles. And I was like, I like watched it. I'm like, okay, well, I was gonna just like say hello and then get off, but I really like Amanda Schumann. She's really interesting to me, like understanding dreams and how to interpret our dreams. She's went to Guyana and lived there for a while with her family. She was taught by shamans in a tribe. She also is like she went to. I think she's married to her husband's a shaman as well. So I'm like, okay, I want to check her out because I always get like really big epiphanies through her, and I really like how she interprets dreams. She doesn't like just go like, "Oh, you dreamt about a boat." By definition, here's what a boat dream means. No, no, no. It's like, what do you think it means? And so she helps us to like really like tap into our intuition. So I'm like, okay, so I want to watch that. So I went and supported her, and so I caught like the tail end of that, and I was like, wow, that's really good. And then we had Tangi. Uh, no, let's see, Nadmi. I apologize. I'm not getting your name right. So, anyways, I have not been introduced to her or met her in the network. I don't think so. But so she is speaking of human design work or human design. She does her specialty is human design. So here we're going to give you all the juice. So the word of the day is juicy, and the phrase, the phrase that really stood out to me as I was getting to watch Tangi, like Jennifer Hart was asking her, like, "What do you do?" She's like, "Oh, I just human design all over the place." That like super tickled me. And like, I just human design all over the place. Oh, that's juicy. So I was really tickled by that. And so she was explaining on deeper levels of like what human design was. And it was like really interesting. So there's another person in the network that does that I've learned from that I was actually introduced to human design, but she is and she is a manifester. So manifestors are like really like gung ho energy and go go go, and they can work well with projectors. And so one thing I noticed about Tangi is she herself is a projector. So manifestors are made, and the person that's the manifestor in the network, like I love her. She's really interesting to watch because she's just so gung ho. And I'm always like watching, going like, how'd she do that? She has like so much energy. But like I was watching the Tangi girl, and she is a projector herself. So projectors, what we are, our superpower is to wait for the invite. Like we got to wait for the invite because projectors have a lot of knowledge, a lot of deep, deep wisdom, and we want to share our energy with people. But the thing is when we go out and we just start sharing our energy with people, we have something that's called our something. It's like basically when we go against our human design energy, we slip into the other dynamic of it, which creates bitterness. So we know we're going away from our energy superpower when like bitterness starts to like pop up. It's like it's time to like reflight, go back and like take a break. And I noticed with her, she was a projector herself. Hello, Rachel. I'm going to get to you in a moment. I'm going to get all the juicy details about you. I loved your event. I loved going after you. And so it was really interesting. It was really cool to like kind of like get the perspective. So the human design dynamic, there's so many like different ways. And it's like so deep that like even the experts like they always seem to like talk about that like it's just like I still feel like I'm a beginner and I've been like studying this stuff for like 10 years. There's just like so much you can do. Like there's just it's just so like a deep dive into our like energy system. And I really like Tangi. I really hope to like attend one of her events and really learn more from her. She really seemed like someone I would really resonate with like on that. And because especially the dynamics of like she's like, I gotta wait for the invite. I'm like, oh yeah, me too. And like, I don't know, she just seemed like really nice. I hope to go to one of her events in the future and learn more about that. So Tangi is a human design expert, and she does stuff within human design. It's really cool, really fascinating to listen to. And she human designs all over the place. Now, if I had to remember one phrase from this evening, that would be it. It really tickled me. It was really funny. I just human design all over the place. All right. Okay, then we go into let's see, Anna Teresa Diego. So she is the one that helped us with the go into the ritual. The ritual is very fascinating. I don't know, should I leave it as a cliffhanger or what? You got to go show like check it out. I don't know. Anyways, so she was really cute. I really like her. She's just really cute. And like she's like talking about like, oh, I'm like, a lot older than the people in this network. But I feel like I'm like the mother hen. And I'm like, that's it. That's the energy she gives. She's like the mother hen. And I'm like, so I've gone to one of her events, I believe, or maybe I met her at the networking event or something. It was really amazing. She just has that like, I don't know how else to explain it. Cute energy. She's like, "You're just so cute. You're just so adorable." And uh, so she helped us with the 11/11 ritual with the donut, and it was like truly amazing. It's about like really like deepening the manifesting of making manifesting. And we take the donut and we eat the donut, and then we say 11/11 45 times. I'm like, that is super interesting. That was like really, really, really interesting. And so I did my abundance ritual, calling it in, and we did that. That was like a lot of fun. And then so I got to like get to know her a little bit more on a deeper level of like how she kind of like her essence, I guess you could call it. Yeah, then we're gonna move into but then after that was Joel, Joel Elman. Okay. I am a fan of Joel Elman. I'm not even sure why. I'm just a fan. Like he has a fan base. So I've seen him at a lot of events. He's really just kind of like he kind of sits there and like I like watch him, but like I didn't realize that he's like a really good listener and like he gives like really good. He took me back one time, and this is why I'm a fan of him because he just kind of sits there. He's like, oh, I'm going to participate in this, and I didn't really. He just kind of goes with the flow, and he's just like, oh, I either did or I didn't, and like, and I'm like, all right. And then I was at an event with Astor Fox, and I've seen him at a lot of places with Astor Fox too, which everyone knows on here. I'm a huge fan of. She's helped me out like tremendously, and I just love her energy. And I see Joel there a lot. And one day he said he spoke up and said like, yeah, I have some, because I asked, I think I was put on the hot seat or something, and he gave some advice, and I was just like, huh, that is really good advice. I don't remember like what it was like off the top of my head, but I just remember like thinking, going like, I'm a fan of this guy. I had no idea that he was like running a business or anything because he's so quiet, But like when he speaks, it's like, wow, that was yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm just like, yeah, okay. So I'm a fan of Joel Elman. I like to get to know him more. He's just a really amazing guy. So he's into like the hypnosis dynamic, and it's just really impressive. It was like really impressive to watch him perform or entertainment value, I guess it was what it's called, the entertainment value, and listening to him. And it was just super fascinating. Like hypnosis, like self hypnosis, like being put like under self hypnosis in a way to be guided into self hypnosis. Like it's just truly, truly fascinating and interesting to me because I have a background of spiritual hypnosis, like not a background of like teaching it, but a background of like I came to like a realization a while back when I was on narcotics that like why not just put myself under self hypnosis? And so I was doing all these things, not really like trained. I set the intention to like put myself under self hypnosis, and like I started to like watch other people. I don't know. It was really weird. I'm still like anyways, so like during that timeline, I was like really like, consciously like, I'm going to put myself into like self hypnosis. So anyone that does like hypnosis, that's like offers it in a way that's like self hypnosis, they like help guide you into self hypnosis. I'm always like really intrigued by. Um, okay, now we're going to move into Rachel Cooley, the one and only amazing Angel Cooley. So like I've been a huge fan of her. So okay, so like she's like helps guide people, and you can help me, Rachel, by sharing if you'd like. Like, please help me out. But I'll give you my details, my experience of her, my take of her. So she works with guardian angels, which I find super fascinating because I went down this like studying guardian angels as well. And then like when I met Rachel Cooley, I started to see her and I was like watching her, like, wow, she like knows this stuff like on a really deep level. And it's like so therapeutical and it's so like healing. And it's just so like amazing. And like I've just been like a really big fan. I'm like, wait, you work with angels? I'm like, that's actually really cool because I was reading a book on angels and studying it. And when I was going through my spiritual awakening process, one of my really good friends, she was like sharing with me because I was going through like so many different dynamics, like the rabbit hole of spirituality. And like I would get like hyper focus on certain things. And like I just got like a lot of knowledge, like a ton of knowledge on like just different rabbit holes down the. And I remember like I was really doing the guardian angels, Raphael, Mike. And she was like, she knows like these other ones. I'm like, wow, I haven't heard of those ones. Those are really amazing. It's really super cool. And so just like I'm always just like kind of like taken back by like just I just really like listening to her. It's just really interesting. So if you're like a person that really likes to like work with angels or need someone to help guide you with angels and do like kind of like breathing techniques, meditation techniques, calling in the angels, really visualizing. I'm not gonna lie, I've cried a couple times, like behind the scenes because it's like it's just so healing. It's like imagine, just visualize that like Michael's with you, Archangel Michael and Raphael and Gabriel putting their hands on you, wrapping their wings around you, and you are fully loved and supported. I'm loved and supported. Oh, it's just really powerful. It's just super powerful. So like if you're like looking, she works with women. And so if you're like a woman, you're like looking for someone to like go down that route, like, oh, I recommend her. She's really good. And moving on. Okay. So now next we have Mr. Michael Adams right here. All right. So this is when I got interviewed. So I jumped on like an hour before. And I was like checking out like behind the scenes. I didn't want to like, miss out. I'd be like, oh, I computer problems or something like that. So I jumped on and it was like on StreamYard. This is like my first time being in the backstage area. And it was kind of cool. It's like kind of like watching. So you're black. So when you're in the back, I'm gonna give you like juicy details. So when you're in the backstage, it's like you're blacked out. But the host, and I'm assuming the people that are hosting with the host, I don't know what you call co-hosts, they can see you. So when you come in, you're just kind of like sitting there, and but you're watching kind of like behind the scenes, but you don't have access to like the comments or anything like that. You don't have like really too much control, so it's like you can't like hijack their show. And so I found that very interesting. So I got like a little bit behind the scenes. There was like a little chat area that you could like like secretly chat back and forth like while the live's on. Like if you're getting interviewed, I think there's a dynamic of that. So like when you have teams and you're like teaming up to like do these long events, like 12 hours, you can like write to the co-host people like, oh crap, I need this, or like I need a break, take over. So it was just really interesting just to kind of see like how the back area works as far as like interviewing people. Interviewing people is definitely a direction I want to go in the future because I find like so many amazing people around the world. I still haven't figured out like what I'm going to do as far as like interviewing, but I've always wanted to like share like these amazing people. I've like, so I'm a person that really likes to smash stereotypes. And I've just like anytime like our country says like, oh, that country is bad, I usually go running over there, like not physically, but like online, and I start getting to know people. And like that was like part of when I was like getting off of narcotics. I was like in this like deep conspiracy theory stuff that didn't serve my nervous system. But I learned and like, I accumulated a lot of fear because I really pushed the boundaries of my own fear. And anyways, so like I was able to meet people like around the world going like, man, people around the world are like really amazing. Like we're literally all the same. Like there's nothing different about us. Like all this stuff that like we've been programmed with is just nonsense. And so it was like running towards my fears, like recognizing that like it's just pure love on the other side, like all of us around the world. It's like amazing. And so when I was getting interviewed, that was fun. Jennifer Hart helped guide me, like made me feel really, really comfortable. And we did some things with like the angels, working with the angels prior. And so that really helped calm me and ground me. And like when I went on, I'm just like, oh, I'm just talking to Jennifer. She's Jennifer Hart. Like she's totally amazing. She's like, I feel like totally connected with her. Like I just feel like safe and like it's just no big deal. And like as I was watching the people, I'm just thought like, well, hey, I already know all these people. I don't know that Tangy girl, I don't think. But like other than that, like everyone else that's came on, like I already know all them. Like gone to a lot of their events. They're like truly amazing. Like, all right. I'm just gonna like focus on that. Like, and then it's like I kind of came on. So what okay, secret. Here's what happened. So so I had to go on to a different browser on the Chrome browser I normally go on like a different browser. And so I swapped over thinking that like, well, kind of like reboost, like the bandwidth. I just didn't think. That's basically what it came down to. So on the other browser, I had 20 windows open. And so like I'm watching, going like, all right, I'm watching. I'm just like, all right. So like, it seems to be smooth. So like when I go on live, everything's gonna go smooth, right? And then like I got on, and I noticed that like my screen started to go like in super slow motion. But on the other side, Jennifer Hart was all like, you're going like super fast. Like you have like really playful energy, but like, and she started laughing. I'm like, and like I started laughing, and like that was actually like really funny. I'm like, really? I'm like looking at it, going like, are you sure? Because like on my side, it's like really slow motion. So I equivalent that why I that didn't upset me was because all the work that I've done in the Connected Soul Network plus the MER, the mental and emotional release, because before that might have like put me in like a state of like panic. But like I just totally rolled with it. Like I laughed, she laughed, we're all laughing, right? you know? And like this is like the power of the Connected Soul Network. This is why I like about it because it's just so I always use the expression home. It's home. That's really all I can say. It's home. I really struggled finding, like, after getting off narcotics, transferring my life over, like, not transferring, I'm sorry, abandoning my old lifestyle, every dynamic of it, like, I transferred over going like, well, great. Now what do I do? Who am I? Like, what do I do now? Like, I literally am starting like every single dynamic of my life over. And I threw away like everything. I only transferred over 5 friends. So like, I mean, literally everything was brand new to me. And I'm just like sitting there like going like, all right, well, who do I talk to? Like, I don't even know who I am. Like, what's my next journey going to detail? Like, I had this like totally like just radical like spiritual awakening that shook me to my core. I had like a download that like I'm here to like help like change the face of this planet, create a global ripple effect of compassion this is ever seen. I'm like, well, great. What do I do with that? And I transferred over. And so for like I've been on this journey for 6.5 years since I've like started my life over and I became visible, like public. And it was really, really scary for me the entire time. And I really felt lost and alone. And it was really hard to like connect with people. And for like 5 years, I was really going through this like alone. And it was like really, really painful. I mean, I had people, but it just didn't really. I've had people, but like a community, the community dynamic. And I really, really, really struggled. And I was always looking for people. So many times I just wanted to give up and like I was like really trying to shake all these like feelings of like depression, like the suicidal behaviors that I had, the suicidal thoughts that I had. And like as I like transferred over my life, my brain was shot. And so I was like, I've been healing my brain for like the last like 6.5 years. And like for like the first couple years, I was still very suicidal. So like this whole thing was like a radical shift for me. And like going through this process, it was like people like I found that like people like they just didn't really want to connect. And it was really hard because it was like before I got off the drugs, when I was at my rock bottom, the reason why I wanted to create a business was because like I was in a group and I was helping addicts, and we're all in recovery, like online. And we all pretty much had the same similar thing in common. We didn't, for whatever reason, NA or AA didn't resonate with us. And we kind of did our own thing. And I found this group and I opened up, and like me being vulnerable by just texting and typing, because I was too scared. I was too paranoid to like be on video, even send pictures of me or anything. I was like so deep in these conspiracy theories, like in my own addiction and like all sorts of stuff. My nervous system was shot out, but I wanted change. And this was like right before my spiritual awakening. And through that, like I would just type, like I was just literally being myself because the group was really small. And I come to like recognize I do well in small groups. And like the group was real small, and like they ended up putting me as an admin. Like, who wants to be an admin? I'm like, I do. Like, wonderful. Do you know what an admin is? I have no idea. I just know that like this small group I love. And they're like, great. Yeah, actually, we were thinking of you, but I didn't want to like call you out. We just like threw it out there just to see. I didn't even know what like Facebook groups were or like like group direct messages. And like, I literally thought it was like some like professional people that like knew what they were doing. And I over time like realized, no, they're just people like me. They're just trying to like, they're people like in recovery trying to figure it out. And then so like I ended up like just being like vulnerable because I'm like, I don't really care. I'm at a point right now where it's like I'm about to die. If I don't get off these drugs, I'm about to die. Like I'm skin and bones. I've passed out a bunch of times. Like I'm gonna die. So like I could either just like open up and just be like, F it. I don't care what these people think. They're like online. Like I don't know where they live in the world. So I did. And I became like extremely just like open. And that openness I shared, I was just very, I was like, as I went through the withdrawal, I shifted the pain that was going on in me. And I would like shift that to like put it onto this like small little group. And I was like there, like, so like my hours, because like withdrawing from heroin is like gnarly. And when you're, so I'd be up just like twitching and going through like the kicks and sweating and nausea. So I put all my attention on helping other people. And like those people, like I was just always there. I just showed up and like I just spoke because I really liked listening to people's stories. And like lo and behold, like I started getting people like writing me and they're like, hey man, like you saved my life. And I'm like, whatever, right on. And I didn't realize that like a lot during that timeline. So like my rock bottom was kind of like my kind of like it was what I found that like, hey, I'm actually kind of good at this. Like this is like I had no clue. People would write me and be like, yeah, man, like I had a gun next to my head. And I remember like thinking that like, well, maybe I should reach out to that guy because I always see him on here and he seems to be like, I really resonate with him because he's like always on. It's like mind blowing to see that he just decided I'm just going to get off drugs and did. He seems to be like doing it. And so like they would reach out to me and I would just build a genuine connection with them. Just talk to them. Hey, what are you up to? We had, what we had in common was getting off drugs. So I'd speak to them and we'd speak for like hours. They'd reach out to me like weeks later. I'd just have people like reach out to me like all the time. Be like, dude, you saved my life. And like, it was just, what? Like when I like actually like recognized I did. And so that was the reason why I wanted to transfer over and do a business because I came to recognize that that is what building a business is. It's you. It's the essence of you. It's like whatever you are. And like what I've learned in Jennifer Hart's Connected Soul Network is over time is that like, it's just being your most vulnerable self. And you, it's really just you. It's like you amplified and like you figure out how to make money off that. And I'm like, well, hey, maybe I could do that in like affiliate links or something like that. And and thank you so much, Rachel. And so, uh, show, yeah, okay, no, not that one. Let's see. All right, hide. Oh, here we go. And so I was, thank you, Rachel. And so I was just like, yeah, so like maybe I could do that with like the Amazon affiliates, and then like that way I'm not like selling, I could just like kind of like recommend things that like have really helped me, like and just kind of like do some different things. Anyways, so I totally like went down a tunnel on this. I need to bring myself back up into a higher frequency because I always kind of like it's a weird time in my life, and it's really like I'm being more vulnerable and opening up about it. But I need to like figure out how to like tell that story. Which, oh my god, I'm going to get to a story later uh, with Shayna Galen. Who get ready for that? That is just like who so good. I wish to tell stories like how she did because she stays in a higher frequency through it, or they stay at a higher frequency when doing it. So okay, so that's my story. I forget where I was going with it. Squirrel moment. Been on the thing for 12 hours. So anyway, bringing it back to the event, I totally just like swerved off on the direction of my original point on this, bringing back my story. Let's see here, bringing back my story to that. Why did I bring it back to that? And then bringing it forward to, I forget. So pardon me. You have to forgive me. It's been a long day that went by like super quick, and it's like just now kicking in my tiredness. All right, so then we went on a break, and then like the break, we went into like the networking event that the Connected Soul Network. Let's bring it back to the Connected Soul Network. There you go, Connected Soul Network. It's all about the Connected Soul Network today. This is like a day to give back and just like totally love on this community. So who cares about me? Let's move it on to the community. All right, this community is amazing, and so then we went into like the networking event thing that like we took. The live video went on a break for an hour, and then we went into the networking. one thing I found very interesting and really fascinating about the networking event, which was really cool. It was just like family. It was like, I was like thinking it was going to be like all scary because I haven't gone to the networking events in a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I'll go to the networking event. Like, it just seems like I just felt called to go. And so I went, and it was just like really amazing. We all just kind of like helped each other. We like say, like, what do we need support for? This is why I love the community. This community, this network, they totally are there to support each other, and they like help one another to like help support each other. Oh my God, I love this community. And it was just really amazing, like just to kind of like see how they play the different dynamics. And so that was fun. That was actually a lot of fun. All right, moving into uh, Shayna Galleon. I apologize. And so okay, person recognizes as a they, and I totally respect that as gender. They recognize as they, and so I totally respect that. I actually find that very fascinating, very interesting. And they were Shayna. She told this story. She just like dove into this story that was just like had to like I was thinking it was gonna like start off like like just I thought she was just kind of like telling a story, and then she like dove into like some like really vulnerable stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, like this is powerful. And they said it in a way that was like totally just like captivating, and it was just like it was a heartfelt story. And they told a story where I'm still working on a dynamic of sharing my story. There's like a dynamic of my story that I haven't really like opened up about. It's like some trauma I went through and I released, but sharing the story, I've already released the trauma through that recently, through the mental and emotional release 11-week thing that I'm doing. And but the um and I was listening to her to the story, and I was just like, wow, this is so like I want to learn how to tell stories like that. That is super, super powerful. Like I was just like having like just goosebumps after goosebumps. And then when it was over, I was like, oh, like I so want to just like give you a hug right now. Like I want to support you and like just like give you a big old hug. And it was like really, really amazing. And it was just like, I don't know, this is like family. You guys, like this network is seriously like family. I don't know how else to say it. It's like home. It's like a home of family. Like not like home family, like like it's just a different kind of family. It's like these spiritual people that I've been seeking for like so long, and on my journey of like going down all these spiritual holes. A lot of people don't get it, and like I really struggled to like find that. And like this community is like truly amazing. It's just like so just beautiful. I don't know how else to explain it. So they listen, they support. Like the biggest thing is like one thing I've noticed is like just about everyone in there has like these like really strange listening skills. I say strange because it's just like, how do y'all do that? Like they seem to like been taught by like similar people. They're like, how's it? Or like wait, what do they say? It's like, do you feel complete? And their listening skills are just off the chart. It's not like they're just kind of like listening. You're like, oh, are you sure you're listening to me? No, like they listen. And this is one of the things that I really needed in my journey. It was just really to be heard, and be seen, and really to just be heard. Like all I needed was to be heard in like a group community setting. And like I really feel this here. And so if you're someone like out there, I want to really just like plant that seed. If you're someone that's like looking for a community and you're just like you feel lost, you don't have a community, and you're into like spirituality and the woo-woo spirituality stuff, like this is it. Like I'm telling you, like this is like what I remember going back. This is what I've been looking for when I was telling my story of like where I was coming from. This is what I've been looking for the last like 5 years. And it's been a year on. I've been on this journey for 6.5 years. So 5.5 years, like I really felt lost. That was where I was going with the story earlier. And this is just like home. It's truly home. And if like you're like one of those people that like I need like to find a home of networking people that like we help and support one another, like this is it. Like I don't know how else to say it. Like I really mean that from like the bottom of my heart. I don't know how else to express it. Like I'm just so enthralled by like that community. Like every time I go, I'm just like I'm always like like prior to like me working on the MER mental emotional release that I just released a bunch of stuff. I'd always be like, oh, I don't know. But like every single time I leave their event, I'm like super pumped up and energized. Tonight, I didn't think I was going to stay for 12 hours. It was a 12-hour event. I'm like, oh, I'm really tired. I got to take a nap. Oh, well, just like every single time I go to these events, I get like really energized. I'm like, yeah, all right. People are really interesting, like really like deep and wise and just really like fascinating to listen to. And I'm just like looking at it like that is so cool. Participating, like, it was just like talking to other people. It was just like, and I'm like, well, there goes my tired, my nap, the need to take a nap just totally just very vamos gone. Bye bye. I'm just like, all right, let's go. Let's keep going. This is great. Okay, so let's keep moving forward. All right, so then we have Chris Birchbridge. Oh my God! So this guy, I got into one of his events. He teaches like the dynamics of from the one event that I went to. He helps us in like different dynamics of business to like move forward in business. He has like a lot of like education in business, online business, sales, market. He just seems like really knowledgeable. What I like about Chris, he is very calm and just kind of casual about the whole online business thing. He's just like, yeah, it's just kind of, what if we like kind of, just kind of, did it this way? And it's just yeah, yeah, calm and casual. Like that is the energy I seek. It's like I got like all these like really like gung ho people along my journey. It's like, oh, that like blows out my nervous system and it creates stress. So like this casual, calm behavior, like I resonate with that. Like it's just, and he's extremely knowledgeable. And what I really like about Chris, he's like, I just like to make things easy, like I want to create like a event about like an easy event. I'm like, oh my God, I'd so be into that. Like I'm tired of like words have power. And it's like even people that like coach and like talk about words have power, but yet they always talk about the dynamics of hard. It's hard, push through it anyways. Hard and this. I'm like, why? Why? Kind of contradicts. Like I just want easy. Well, it's not going to be easy. You got to push through. Why? Why can't it be easy? This guy's just like, yeah, just make it easy. It's like what if we just change the perspective on it and we just made it easy? And like I went to one of his events and he really made everything easy. Like just the whole dynamic of it. That was actually when I made my shift on. He's like, what if, you were to just kind of create content on, until you just kind of, didn't feel like making content on that platform anymore. And you just want to like move on to another platform. Like, what would that feel like? You just kind of make some content here. You're just like, I don't feel like making content there. And then make some content over here. And you're just, I don't really feel like making content over there anymore. What would that look like for you? I'm like, that would be amazing. And then I like totally just exploded. I'm like, woo! I'm like, that was like freeing to me. I'm like, that told like just like, what if it was easy? Like, what if you just did it like how you wanted, instead of like all these other like techniques and like all these other like stuff? What if you just did it in a way that was just really easy? Yeah, man, I hear you. Yeah, I'm digging what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I can get down with that. And then what do you know? I totally just like took off and exploded. Started making YouTube videos. I got this like connected to YouTube and Facebook. I was like, yeah, man, like, just make it easy. Yeah, I'm down for that. So yeah, so if you're looking for a calm, casual guy, like that is a great person to like go to his events. Calm and casual, just making everything easy. All right, moving forward. Then we got Cat Heber. Oh my goodness gracious. Where do I start with her? She is fantastic. She is phenomenal. She is funny. Her energy is like straightforward, right at you. So when I first met Kat, okay, so we're gonna get into some juicy stuff here. So when I first met Kat, I wasn't sure about Kat because like she's like, I'm a straightforward type of person. I'm gonna tell you like it is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And then, like I started listening to her, go like, I don't think I'm gonna vibe with her. Maybe I have a feeling she's gonna be like one of the ones that like I'm probably not gonna resonate with. Probably like avoid like. And then I started listening to her, and I'm like, oh my god, she's hilarious. And then she's like, I'm just gonna give it to you. Like spirit's telling me this, and I cannot sugarcoat it. I'm just gonna give it to you. Like, oh. And it's like she gives it to you, and you're just like, huh. Yeah, no, that was exactly what I needed to hear. Like, but like she doesn't, she's like a straight. So here's what I like. Here's what separates her from like all the rest. She's a straightforward, like, I'm gonna tell you like it is, blah, and she swears like a sailor. It is really funny. And but she's like, she's a person that like comes at you in a way that's so compassionate, so like heart centered. It's like, huh, I actually really like her. She's really funny. Like I really like resonate. I love going to her events, and she's just like she's really just like really truly giving. And I'm just like, wow, I was not expecting that. Like what I thought. So there you go. So it's like whatever we like think prior to like getting to know people, it's probably wrong. And so like that's what I recognize with like Kat. I'm like I now love going to like all her like she does like a lot of like card pullings, and she like does readings and stuff like that. And the way she does it's like really it like tickles me. It's like really funny. Like we're all laughing, we're all having a good time because she does like card pullings for the network once a month, and it's like I love showing up to that because like we all are having like a great time, and it's just like so spot on. And it's just I don't know. It's just so great. Cat Gila, I totally recommend her. She's cool. Then we go into Lori Sally. Oh my goodness gracious. This conversation, I was like listening to her. She is like into paganism. She helps, not into it. She is pagan, and she talks about like the deep roots of like paganism. And it's like totally like the, she goes into it. She speaks on it on a dynamic because she's really like wise. That's one thing I know about her. She's wise. And I've learned so much about like paganism and the misconceptions that like most of the world has about paganism, and just it's like really just like nature's based, and like listening to like her wisdom. I've said that like right when she came out. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a great listening to her. And so I stayed and like I listened to her, and like between Jennifer Hart, Danny, then we had Melissa. It was just I was just sitting there going like, this is so fascinating. Like all the stuff, like because she goes to like different parts of the world for energy places. She goes up to like Mount Shasta. I think she lives in Mount Shasta, and she is just so wise. Like why? Like wise. If I had to give her one word, wise would definitely be it. A lot of wisdom that comes out of her, and they ended up like all talking. I'm just like, wow. Like between like the three of them, it was Danny, Melissa, and Lori. They were talking. I'm just like, oh man, like this is so interesting. Like I could seriously like sit there. I think I even commented it too. I'm like, I could sit here and just like watch you, like listen to you guys talk for like 10 hours. Like this is like so interesting. And then, yeah, so that was pretty much it. And then we did a close off ceremony with Melissa, and Melissa did like this like closing ceremony thing where she like helped us visualize some things. And she's like into like Reiki and healing and trauma. She has like a really playful spirit. And she came up with the word juicy, and I'm like, that's the word of the day. It was a juicy event, really juicy. And I guess it kind of stuck because like they started going like they laughed and they're like, oh, I guess it is. It was juicy. I got it from Melissa just listening to her. It was just kind of funny. But then we did like this closing ceremony, and it was so beautiful. I'm glad I wasn't on video, but I was like sitting there, like I was like full on bawling, like not like bawling, but like I had like tears like literally dripping down my cheeks, like onto my, down on my what I'm wearing. And I'm just like, oh my God, it was like so beautiful. It was so beautiful. So if you're ever like thinking of like a network to like join, so like 12 hours, I didn't think I was going to stay there for 12 hours. I stayed for 12 hours because it was so interesting. It was so fascinating. It was so like enthralling, just so. And it was like I got to know these people on like a deeper level. I'm like, oh, I went to that person's event, gone to that person's event, I've gone to that person's event. Like I love these people. Like, and I got to like know them like briefly, like on a deeper level. And it was just like really kind of cool. And like seeing them all lined up one after the other, and like just kind of like watching them was just like, wow, like yeah, like this is home. This is amazing. This is totally rocking cool. I don't know what to say. It's just so like if you I do know what to say. Don't tell me I shouldn't say I don't know what to say. I do know what to say. Come join the network, Connect-A-Thon Network. If you feel called for an amazing community of heart-centered people, you have all sorts of different dynamics, and we're always growing constantly. I say we because like I feel like it's home, and when I think it's home, I feel like it's family. And it's just everyone's just so happy. There's like non-judgmental, it's very opening and it's accepting of all things. We all lead in like curiosity. That's one thing that we all share, and it's like truly amazing. It's like not like you know like fake. It just doesn't like there's no I've never once felt like fake. Like this is fake or like that person or like this thing that none of it. It's like just so ground. Oh, that's another thing. They do grounding meditations like just all about all the time. They do like meditations. It's so healthy. It's healthy. It's healthy. That is a good okay, that's a word I'm going to start using for that. It's healthy. This network is totally healthy. Yeah, it's home. It's a healthy home. Hey, I like that. I'm gonna write that down. It's a healthy home. Healthy home. It's beautiful. So if you're looking for they're doing an open house from now until the 16th. First 5 people that sign up today during the event. Well, I don't know. It might be already over, but they're giving away some like amazing prizes. I don't know if they've filled up the 5 or not. But there's an open house free to come check out. So if you're like curious, like, is this for me? It probably is. If you're into woo spirituality and you're looking for people, yeah, it probably is. Like, come check it out. You know, if you're into woo spirituality, yeah, maybe. Woo, yeah, definitely. Yeah. If this feels like right to you, like listening to like my story, the juicy details, come check it out. Connected Soul Network, Jennifer Hart, creator, founder. There you have it. There is all the juicy details of this beautiful 12-hour thing. And I don't know. Now I'm probably gonna crash after this because like my energy is just so high, it can't go any higher. It's just gonna. So I need to kind of just kind of unwind now because there's just too much amazingness. All right, I'm Mr. Michael Adams. This is Keep Inspiration Alive, Global Inspiration Nation. I hope you got some value out of this and come back next time. See you next time. Toodaloo. And thank you everybody for stopping in. Toodaloo, everyone.